Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Jimmy here again. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know what part this is. Have not been keeping track, nor do I want to. Where we left off, we made this into the fender by itself, and yeah, that's pretty much where we left off. We just turned that into its own little individual entity. Okay, we're going to continue working on this. One thing I did not mention is this is actually going to have a gap, so I'm just going to move it back a little bit like that. Nothing major. So what I want to do is I want to select this face, and this does have a slight curve to it, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the extrude button. I'm just going to move this probably right about here. Oops, I want to go into the side view now. I'm just going to move this up. Move it back a little bit more. Yeah, probably something like that. Nothing major, nothing crazy. We're going to press G again on the keyboard. We're going to move this over. We're going to go into the top view. We're going to move this over. And then if Maya would register this, we'll go into here. And then we're going to do one last extrusion. So I'm thinking, let's go ahead and grab these faces right here. Down here. And we'll just move this in a little bit. Yeah, something kind of like that. Wow, that just looks craptacular. Alright, so let's make it look uncraptacular, shall we? So, in the previous tutorial series, I've always said that, just try to make these curves match. This is true no matter what. That's actually part of the door, so we need to move this up to about here. And these will be done the same way. We're just going to move these up to here. We're going to keep this nice and tight. And so we'll move that in right there. And I don't know. Something kind of like that, I'm thinking. Yeah, see, that's perfect. You can't even see where the curve starts or ends. Not. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and actually follow the curve of this component. I'm thinking something kind of like this. Actually, I'm going to move this one now. Something kind of like that. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I saw something a second ago. I just don't know what I saw. Let me go in here. Oops, wrong view. Yeah, maybe I'm just seeing things. Okay. I'm happy with it. Are you happy with it? I'm happy with it. Okay, so, let me check one more thing. Yeah, see, so this actually needs a curve in just a little bit. Not too much. Nothing too crazy. Here we go. Now, normally, when you do this... Oops, wrong view. When you do this, you want to try and make these points match up. So that's what I'm going to start working on right now. I'm going to go into my scale tool. I'm just going to scale this flat. So, I say normally, I say that loosely. Let's go back to our reference image. This, from up here to back here, I know this is an extended cab, but on these pickups, these are actually flat on, from up here to back here. So this back part right here is what we need to match up. Or it's this little back part right here if you're actually looking at a two-door cab. So let me just minimize that window. So what we need to do now is we can actually probably just move this one over. That would probably be fine, I hope. I wonder how many of you just went, what? What do you mean you hope? Do not hope. You know, because you are our tutor for now. You are the all-wise Jimmie Walker who makes mistakes, and we can live with that. I don't know, it just sounded good to say at the time. I'm thinking something kind of like that. I could probably, in all honesty, move this down to about here and be alright. So now I need to come in here. Yeah, see, like this right here, this won't work. I'll actually have to move this up just a little bit. And probably have to move this one back up just a little bit. There we go. Just so this way we have a nice continuous curve on it. That's mainly the thing I'm most worried about. And the better you can make the curve, the better off you're going to be. So that's just a rule of thumb. If you can make the curve where it's nice and smooth, whenever you go in and smooth it in the final product, it's just going to look so much better. Right now, I'm sure y'all are looking at like the faces and triangles, how it's like 10,000, 20,000. a lot of that is because like objects like this, we have that smooth, we have this smooth. Uh, that's the only reason why that's so crazy. As you can see by me pressing one on the keyboard, it's showing a more realistic number. We will smooth them. We will have a high poly count. I'm not going to lie. If you're going to do this for like a high-end racing game, usually around 120,000 faces is average for a vehicle. Anywhere between 120,000 to 180,000, if I remember the numbers correctly, and I don't. Now, for some more in-depth vehicles, prime example, beam.ng.drive, maybe it's just beamng.drive. It's something like that. Really cool. It's a really cool game. I mean, I'm actually really impressed with it. These dudes did their homework. They knew their shit. So anyways, yeah, for a game like that, you're not going to need to go too crazy on the poly count because you're actually going to have a motor, you'll have a running gear, a chassis, you're going to have just all kinds of things going on that it's not really a good idea to have a high amount of detail, polygonal resolution because of that. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. There we go. But it really just depends on what kind of game you're shooting for. That'll be the determining factor if you're going to have a high poly count or not. So in this case, I'm going to try and make this truck look almost photorealistic. That's kind of what I'm wanting to go for. So it is going to have a high poly count. But right now I'm just selecting the top faces of these two polygonal objects, the back part of the frame right here, and then the front frame for the windshield. We will have to connect these two later on. Right now I'm not really too worried about it, to be honest with you. So I'm going to click on the extrude tool. I'm going to move this up, probably right about there. Yeah, I'm just going to move it up right there for now. One thing I want to do is I actually want to select down to here. Let me just frame in on this so it's easier for me to work. Let's see, I'm actually going to take this selection right here. I don't want these right here because that's actually part of the fender. In fact, I can probably go ahead and do away with that as well. So I'm just going to select this little bit right here, this little tidbit, and I'm going to separate the faces. What? Right. Yeah, because why not? And I'm not going to select that one. I'm just going to select these faces right here. And I'm going to separate them out. And now it worked. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, good. So just like before is what we're going to do. And actually I don't need all these layers. I can go ahead and I really thought you could delete multiple layers, but I guess not. Or if there is a way, I just don't know what it is. So, I mean, it's whatever. Alright, so on this one, I'm going to go ahead and add this object to the layer. I'm going to create another layer for the fender. And just as before, we're going to fill this in. Now, we're not just going to click on the fill hole tool because we actually have some curves right here. So is what we need to do is we need to click on the append to poly tool. We're going to click here, here, and here. Press enter. I'm going to press G on the keyboard. I'm going to do the same thing there. And then I'll go into my cut face tool. I'm going to click here. And I don't have one there, so that's fine. I'll just go in here. I already know what's going on. So whenever I close this curve off, what's going on is this. So is what I need to do. In fact, I'm going to move this out of the way for now. Same thing going on over here. I don't know. Click right there. Yeah, the same thing's going on over here. So we can simply click on this tool, or actually, is what we can do. This would be a lot easier. Let's go into Edge. And we're going to select all those edges. We're just going to fill the hole like so. And press G on the keyboard. Whoa. Now, what I want to do is I want to go into the cut face tool. Something like that. And then I'll just close it off like that. Easy. Easy, easy. Alright, so then, now that we have done that, we can go ahead and select these faces, and you'll see what I'm doing here in just a second. I'm going to click on my edge, I'm going to move my edge forward. Right about there. I'm going to click on vertex, make sure I only have 2 selected, and I'll go ahead and merge them. So now that hole is closed. Alright, so then the next thing we'll do is we'll go in here, and it's going to be something very similar. Wow, how does that even happen? There we go. Okay, life is good. Okay, so we got this weird shape going on. Yeah, we'll just click on the append to polygon tool, and then we'll follow this around like so, and then we'll press G on the keyboard. We'll click here, and we'll click here, and now I'll close it off. So this time I did do the extra click, and so what we can do this time is we can click here, and we can close that off right there. And that's it. So now those objects are now separate polygonal objects. So if we click on face, one thing we should probably go ahead and do is I'm going to move this over just a little bit. I'm going to move it forward just a little bit. So whenever we create this, we have a nice little gap. Let's see. Yeah, that should be fine. So now when we press 3 on the keyboard, yeah, that's beautiful. Okay. Seriously, the reason why we were getting that, because we haven't created any edge loops around here or anything like that. So if I were to, I'm going to go ahead and just hide, not that one, I want to hide this. If I come in here, I'm going to create an edge loop right about here, and I'll create another one right here. Okay, it's looking good. I'm going to create an edge loop right here, and I'll create a series of edge loops like that. So now whenever I show the fender, you can see that now I have this shape. And that's more of what I'm looking for, something kind of like that. And then for the fender, you can create an edge loop right here. You're going to have an extra vertice to work with, but that's okay. We'll create one right here, and we'll create one more right here. So when we do that, it gives us a nice shape. I'm actually going to create one more right about here, so that way I can keep that edge nice and sharp. So let's go ahead and work with this right here. Is what we need to do is we need to click on the cut face tool, and I'm going to select that that vertice right there. I'm going to do that. So then we got 4 faces on that side, but then I'm going to do the same thing right here, and I'm going to end it right there. And I need to, why do I keep doing that? See, this is why it's helpful to name things. Don't be like me. Be good about it. Name your objects. So I'm going to start this one off here. I'm going to close it off there. I'm going to look around. I think that's actually about it. Yeah, I think so. So now we should have only 4-sided faces. So we should be good. Alright, so now we got this. Let's go ahead and save the scene. Something I'm actually fairly bad about doing, or not doing, is saving. I'm actually terrible about that. Like, if I had a professor, he'd be like, "What the hell, Jimmy?" And I'd be like, "I don't know, Professor Xavier." So, you know, it's whatever. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to select this face, or these series of faces. You could just select the vertices too. You know, you just come in here, flatten it out like that, and do that. You can do either one, it doesn't really matter. But I want to try and make this more curved, so this way it continues following that shape. This one I'm not too terribly worried about. Yeah, I am, I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to go ahead and move this one in, and I'm going to select these vertices, like so. I'm going to go into my side view, take a look. Yeah, it looks about right. And then I'm going to go into this view. I'm just going to move these over like so. There we go. Alright, so next thing we need to do is we need to create the pillar. The pillar of autumn. Actually, before we do this, let's go ahead and combine these 2 objects right here. So this way it's not fighting with us. Now, the 2 ways we can do this, and I think this is going to be a lot easier. We'll have to modify this first, but So what we're going to do is we're going to take the edge loop tool. We're going to create an edge right here and an edge right here. Next we want to do is we'll select these faces specifically and we'll hit delete. And then we'll come over here. Let me FN on that. Whoa. We're going to do the same thing right here and we'll hit delete. Look around our objects, make sure we didn't delete any extra unnecessary thingage. Go into edge. And we're going to select the edges all the way around. We're just going to bridge these across. So that's pretty simple. And this way it also keeps all of our edges and everything like that. Now we're going to have this little weird deformity. We don't want that. Simply go into your edge loop tool. We're just going to move this back to about here. And then this one's going to be real similar, just probably right about here. And so now we have the shape for our door. Our deer. Yeah. Okay. So, we'll probably go ahead and duplicate this fender on over. Let's see. I don't want to duplicate this one yet because I still need to create the roof, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'll probably create the roof and then I'll call it quits on this tutorial. I'm trying to make these tutorials nice, short and sweet and simple. This way y'all don't lose interest. Because I know some of the other ones I've done, they've just been ridiculous. And the only reason why, because back when I used to watch tutorials, I hated watching multiple parts. I preferred just to, see one whole long-ass tutorial and just get it all over with. But yeah, after actual practice and everything, I'm just kind of like, man, this sucks. So I could only imagine how some of y'all feel. I'm gonna curve that in, probably right about there, and maybe just something like that. Okay, so now we got the roof created. That looks kind of flat. Are they really that flat? I don't think they are that flat. I think they, no, they're pretty damn flat. Okay, alright. So, the only thing we really have to do is just grab these faces. Actually, we can just grab that. Those faces will follow them. Just kind of have to bring it up. Which, I'm thinking... if I can grab them. Ah, you bastard. Yeah, I'm getting real quiet right now because I'm trying to focus. Oh, you bastard. Really? Oh, fun with Maya. You see, it's things like this that, it's just what makes it so enjoyable to be a 3D game artist. It's like, what do you want to be when you grow up, little Timmy? I want to be a 3D game artist. And then you get into the field and you're like, man, this is bullshit. If you're wondering, I'm like extremely sleep deprived right now. So that's the only reason why I'm like so crazy. Okay, let's deselect that one. Now we'll lift this up. There we go. Let's go ahead and press 3 on the keyboard and see what we get. And let's go ahead and lift it up just a little bit more. Something kind of like that. This way it's nice and smooth. For this back part, however, I want to click on... no, not that one. Maya problems. Okay, I'm going to click on these. I'm just going to move these back. Something kind of like this, I'm thinking. I think I'll probably actually move this one back. And then for this one, I'm going to select up here. I'm just going to move this forward. Probably lift it up just... no, I don't want to lift it up. Let me press 1 on the keyboard, see what the hell's going on here. Something like that. So now we should have a nice smooth... yeah. Something like that is more of what I'm looking for. Then I'll need to... not delete, but I need to fix this back here. So I'm going to select these. I'm actually going to move these in. Something kind of like that. Let's see what we get. It's looking closer. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Let me frame it on these. There we go. Okay, so that's what's going on. So I need to move this out. And this whole section actually needs to be pulled out like this. Ah, wrong vertice. Select that one. Alright, now this whole section needs to be pulled out. Probably needs to be pulled up just a little bit. So now with this, I can see clearly what's going on here. I don't know if y'all can, but basically I'm just trying to take these. I'm trying to kind of like have this smooth curve that goes over, and I'm kind of failing at it right now. Not the first thing in life I failed at. I'm like, failed my jobs, I failed my parents. Yeah. So I'm not completely useless. I can always be used as a bad example. Alright, that looks pretty good. This edge is a little sharp. Easy way to fix that is to just select the whole edge loop, and then deselect these. And all we have to do is just pull this forward. And that will soften up the edge. And I'm actually going to do the same thing for right here. I'm just going to pull this in. So now we have that nice soft look that we'd come to expect on an old truck. Okay. By the way, do any of y'all have one of these? I'm just kind of curious. I mean, I've always kind of liked them. It's just my opinion. Let me frame back in on this vertex. See what's going on here. One thing I think I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and add an extra incision right here, so I can see a little bit more clearly. Alright, let's go and press 3 on the keyboard and see what we get. Yeah, it's craptacular. But I think that'll be... No, it won't, because we have that little nudge right there. Oh, that's why. Oops. Still have it. Man, this thing is fighting me tooth and nail. It's like, no, I will not conform to your ways. So I have a little bulge right there. I don't like it. I really don't. And, I mean, if y'all were to, I'll tell you what, homework. If y'all have Forza Motorsport 5, I think, or 7, or whatever's out, I don't know. You think I'd know because I have the game. But if you have this truck in your game, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You just do not see this crap. It is, like, non-existent. And that's really what I'm trying to fix. Okay, there we go. Life is complete. Life is good. So now's what I want to do, now that I've gone through that whole chaotic episode. I'm going to select all these faces right here. I'm going to press delete. And so is what I'll want to do, I'm actually going to want to pull these faces right here. I'm actually going to want to pull these back. I'm going to want to, wait, no, I don't want to pull them back, but I do want to pull them down. I might pull them back just a little bit, not too much. Nothing too crazy. And so now with this whole section, let's go ahead and duplicate it. Let's group it first, and then we'll duplicate it, and then we'll go ahead and combine the two. After which, we'll select all these edges, and we'll go ahead and bridge them across. And now we got that. So then you might be wondering, but Jimmy, what about the back? We still have to create the back. Yeah, you're absolutely right, we do. But one thing about these trucks, they are flat. So we can literally take these edges right here, and we can even go underneath too, but I think I'm actually going to create a separate piece for the underbody. If you want to create... Okay, that worked out rather... No, it did not. Anyways, if you want to create the piece the same way... Wait, we didn't go up that high. I think we only went up to this one, yeah. But if you want to create the underbody, you're more the same way that you're doing this right here, you're more than welcome to. We may end up doing that. I highly doubt it, just because I don't want to. I've always kind of preferred making my own. I've always kind of preferred making my own parts. But on these, actually, I think on these they are part of the same thing. So for that is what we'll do is we'll go ahead and go into face. We'll go and select those. We'll go ahead and delete them. We're going to select that one all the way back to here. I'll delete that one. And then I'm going to go into edge. We're going to go ahead and bridge these across. You'll see what I'm doing here in just a second. So now we have this section right here. Now these edges will not match up because if I move them, oh wait, not those. Yeah, so that's new. There's no way. This should be a hole. Am I missing something here? Let me go into face. This is going to show. Wow, I think it actually went ahead and connected them. That is awesome. Old Maya wouldn't have done that. This one's like, bruh, I got you, bruh. So yeah, that's actually, wow, that is really nice. Oh, no, see, we do have something here. Or maybe, no, it's probably just the bottom. You go and click on this edge. I'm going to pull this forward. See, that is just crazy. Because, okay, back when I first started studying Maya, which, once again, in my previous tutorial I told you is Maya 7, you did not have that option. It was like, you know, you would start modeling it, and to do something like that, you'd have to actually separate it and delete the faces. And then you could combine them that way. And then they came out with a bridge tool. I was like, oh wow, this is so cool. So, yeah, I actually think that's a really nice feature. Now right here, you could add the little back panels. I don't know if we're going to be able to see them in any of these images. But, S10 without bed. So, of course they're not going to show it. Go figure. But the cab back here actually has like these little, these ridges in them. And I don't think I'm going to see... Let me just type in S10 cab. Yeah, CBA. Let's see. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to find an image with it. But a lot of times we'll have like these ridges, and you can add those in. I don't think it's going to be a real necessary detail, or at least not right now. So that's completely up to you if you want to or not. I'm not going to hold it against you because I'm not going to do it in this tutorial. It is going to be a high resolution, almost photorealistic, but that's going to be one of those extra details that you're just never going to see. Oi. Ah, Diet Cola. Alright, so, is what we can do now is we can go and take these. You know, I don't know why I'm spending time just trying to select those like that when I can just do this. So much easier. Is what I want to do is I actually want to extrude these, and I'm going to make these flat. And then I'm going to pull them out, you know, about something kind of like this. Probably right about to here. You know, about right there. So now we got that covered. And it's already starting to look more and more like a truck. I mean, you can see it's coming together. Let's see, where is that located? Oh yeah, that ain't gonna work. Control D, Control Shift. Control G. Really? Really? That is, let's go into Edit. We'll go to Delete by Type, History. We'll go to Freeze Transformations, Control G. Still not doing it. Why is it not doing it? Am I missing something? Let's go down here, and we're going to click on Polysurface 2. Nope, so it's going to be Polysurface 1, and we're just going to move those out. I don't know what the hell's going on with Group 5, but yeah, it can just die and go away. So let's go ahead and select these objects. We're going to press Control G, Control Shift D. There we go. That worked. That worked very nicely. I need another swig. And by the way, if you want your outliner right here, I'm just going to show you how I do this, because this is probably the window you're used to looking at. Probably need to fix this. Something about that just doesn't look right. I'll fart with it later. So anyways, to get the outliner right there, because this is probably the window that you're going to be seeing right here. So you'll go up to Windows. You're just going to scroll down here to Outliner. Then this window will pop up. And it's always in the way. So to get it out of the way, just simply move it over here. And there you go. So you may get this. Okay. That's just cute. There we go. Not what I wanted. See, Maya problems. This is what I fart with all the time. Anyways, you get the idea. Outliner's over here. That's not what I wanted. But yeah, that's basically all I do is I just kind of move it over there. And then, so, what is this crap? This is one of the things I really hate about Maya is when it's like, oh, you want me to do this? Okay. And it's kind of like, really? Come on, Maya. This is supposed to be top-notch software, and this is the crap I have to deal with half the time. It's like, really? Like, and it's whatever. But yeah, this is generally how you do it, is you just kind of move it over here. Not like that. Maya, you suck today. What is your deal? And even this, being way out here, like, seriously? Like, really? That's not what I wanted. So, yeah, I don't know what the hell Maya's doing right now. It's on crack, cocaine, something, I don't know. It needs to quit doing the heroin. Yeah, you just normally move it over here, and it would lock in right here. But today, it's just being ghetto. Because if you attach it up here, you get this. And if you attach it right here, then you get this. I'm like, both of these is not what I'm wanting. I'm actually wanting to attach it right here, but then we get this crap. Which I guess I could just move it in like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what this thing's deal is. It's like, it knows I'm trying to do tutorials, and it does this thing where it just makes me look like an idiot. More of an idiot. I know what y'all are thinking. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, sometimes you deal with crap like that. Just kind of got to work with it. Doesn't always cooperate, I guess you would say. But either way, I got it going. I got it back where I wanted it. Alright, so that's not looking half bad. That's not looking bad at all. Okay, so we got the cab done. Got everything duplicated across. I'll probably work more on the grill later on. I'm thinking the next tutorial we'll probably start doing the doors, and then start working on the bed. And then after that, I'll honestly probably go way in depth and start actually adding like a motor and everything like that. That's going to be a separate tutorial. The motor will be a separate tutorial, but then I'll pull it into this truck. I may not do that with this series right away, but I will finish this truck out, and then we'll probably go to something with a little bit more curves. But anyways, until next time, YouTube, or actually before I go, let me go ahead and do one more thing for y'all. We need to smooth this out, so to do that, I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to move it down right about here. I don't know what that shit is. And so I'm going to do the same thing right here. There we go. If that's too squared for you, all you have to do is, I'm going to edge. I'm going to select this edge, I'm going to select this edge, I'm going to press 3. All I'm going to do is just move this up. Just a little bit, not too much. And so now we have this nice smooth look. And so, yeah, on the next series we'll work more with some of this other stuff, and we'll start actually working on the doors and interior. Aha! This is the shit right here I was talking about. So it's actually right here that it didn't connect. Yeah, so if we go into face, I'm going to select this face. I'm going to come over here, select this face. This is what I was looking for. So I was right. It didn't actually connect. So is what I want to do. I need to figure out which edge I have. I think the easiest way to do this would be to select this face. Just going to pull it back just a little bit. Still didn't do what I wanted to do. You know, actually, I know a way we can do this. I don't know why I didn't think about this sooner. One vertice. Two vertices. Here we go. So we're going to combine these. Say what? Oh, those aren't the vertices I want to bind. It's one vertice. It's one vertice. Okay. See, and this was driving me crazy is I know it's in here. I just got to find it. Yeah, see, here it is. Because you can see where it's selecting the two together. So now that one's connected. So I can see the other line on this one. So it looks like there's something else there. I'm going to press 3 on the keyboard real quick. See, it looks like it's right here is where the issue is. But the problem is because it's so close together, this is why you're getting this weird deformed shape. Maybe if I click on face, I might be able to pull this forward. Yeah, see, it still does it. So I think is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to delete those faces. I'm going to delete these faces. Now we have a hole. And I think the easiest way to do this... Oops, I did not want to delete this one. I think the easiest way to do this is we're going to go to the append poly tool, and we're just going to close them off like that. And this should fix our issue. Should. I'm not saying it will, but it should. There we go. So now when we press 3, see how smooth that is? And we don't have it down there either. So yeah, it didn't close them like I was hoping it would have, and you'd think I would have seen that earlier, but I didn't. So, you know, things happen. But anyways, that's going to do it for this tutorial. Definitely going to do it for this tutorial. So I'll see y'all later, and hope y'all have a good day.